students, welcome to today's session. This is Sweta Roy, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu, and today we are going to start with the second part of the two stories about flying. So in the previous video, we have already completed the first part which dealt with the chapter named His First Flight. So that we have already done. Now the second part is the Black Aeroplane. So let's begin without further ado, guys. So the Black Aeroplane. So guys, before beginning with the session, just let me ask you one simple question. How many of you love to read stories which has a mysterious element into it? So the students fond of mystery stories. Give me a quick high five right away in the chat box. And yes, also name a few stories which contains this mysterious element and which you have read and enjoyed. Don't forget that. Quickly mention that in the chat box. The next question which I want you to think about before proceeding with the session is, do you believe in miracle? Do you believe in miracle? Has any miraculous event happened ever in your life? Have you encountered any miraculous situation or any situation where you think which you think is was really mysterious and inexplicable? If it has occurred with you, please do share it with us right away in the chat box. Quickly. Okay, so with that, we will move ahead with today's session. And the author of this session, the author of the story, The Black Aeroplane, is Frederick Forsyth. So he is an English author and an occasional political commentator as well. And he is best known for his thrillers, right? So The Day of the Jackal, The Odessa File, The Fourth Protocol, The Dogs of War, The Fist of God, The Veteran Avenger, not that Avengers. I know most of you are Avengers fan, but not that Avenger. It's a different one, right? The Afghan and the Cobra. So these are the amazing thrillers which are written by the famous author Frederick Forsyth, who's also the author of this story that we are going to encounter today, right? So let's begin with this amazing session with this thriller story. So already you have got the hint that this is going to be a story which is full of mystery. So all of you, I think most of you would like this, right? So let's begin. So in the first story, we have already completed His First Flight, and now the second story. So since the title itself is two stories about flying, so you can see very well that both the stories are concerned with flying. The first one was about the seagull family, the young seagull who learned how to fly, who actually learned the skill of flying for the first time, and the kind of obstacles that he faced in his life when he learned to fly, and finally how did he overcome that those obstacles, and finally he reached the pinnacle of success. And let's see what happens in this story, which is also associated somehow with flying. You can understand with the very title, The Black Aeroplane, so of course associated with flying, right? So let's see. So the speaker was traveling on his old Dakota from France to England. So here the speaker is also the narrator. The narrator is also the author. So same person, all right? He hoped to join his family by breakfast. So he wanted to have breakfast with his family, and therefore he was flying from France to England. So this is important, guys. Most of the times you are asked this question, from where to where was he flying? So from France to England. So his country, he belonged to England. Okay. His family was in England and he was flying from France to England. He wanted to enjoy English breakfast with his family. So that was his dream, right? So next he called the Paris control room to inform that he's going to England. And as per their reply, so he was maintaining a control because he was flying the aeroplane. And then the Paris control room said that he needed to turn his plane to 12 degree west. All right. Then everything was going smooth, and he was also dreaming of the breakfast that he's going to very soon enjoy with his family. And he was also very happily flying over the clouds and with the city of Paris right below him, so he was enjoying his flight as well. Suddenly he saw the clouds. So after he flew for 150 kilometers, so he had left 150 kilometers already, he had left Paris 150 kilometers behind. And then he started, after that, what happened was the clouds suddenly became monstrous. The plane had enough gas to reach back to to Paris, but still he wanted he was eager to actually meet his family members, and that is why he thought that let's take this risk, right? So he flew straight into the storm, and the storm was so it was a bad storm. It was furious because the dark clouds are compared to mountains in the text, right? So definitely it was dangerous, but still the author, the narrator, risks his life. Why? Because he is very eager to actually meet his family, right? So he risks his life. And then what happens? Inside the clouds, it was not possible for him to see anything, and it was pitch black. So when he took out the compass and then he tried to check his direction, to his horror, he realized that everything has stopped working. And then he tried to connect to Paris control, but there was also no reply because he had lost all contacts from the Paris control room. Now he was slowly getting devastated. So his devastation, his starting to lose hope, and his crucial moment at this point of time can be definitely compared with that crucial moment which we encountered when we dealt with the story, his first flight. So the seagull, remember the seagull, when he took the first flight and when he actually dived for his food, how he fell downward. So that was the climax, right? Similarly here also, when he absolutely lost all control, similarly he was also facing this hurdle. So both can be equated. When the speaker thought his life almost is now going to end, just as, remember, the seagull, when he took his first leap, he thought that okay, he lost all his hope for a second when he was falling down into the space, right? Similarly the speaker here also thought similar in the same way. But suddenly he spotted a black aeroplane, and the pilot of that black aeroplane waved him and asked him to follow him, right? Then the speaker, having no other option, followed that black aeroplane, the pilot of that black aeroplane, like a child. And after half an hour, he was flying through the clouds. And then, miraculously, when he realized that, oh my God, I just have fuel left for flying only for 5 to 10 minutes. But what happened? He was again frightened when he realized that. But what happened? Suddenly, when he came out of the cloud, he saw two long straight lines in front of him, and that was the runway. So he was finally safe, and then he landed safely. Question time, guys, question time. So I hope till this point you have enjoyed the story, but don't leave. There is still more to go, guys. So before moving ahead, before seeing what is going to happen next, let us answer this question. So describe the narrator's experience as he flew the aeroplane into the storm. Quickly comment on this answer in the chat box. Let's see how much you were attentive in the class and how attentively you had listened to the story. Okay, moving ahead. Finally, as I told you, he landed on the runway. But when he landed on the runway, when he landed on the runway, first of all he said that I am happy, and he was also feeling a sense of relief, and he said that I am not sorry. He also mentions this in the text, that I am not sorry to walk away from my old Dakota. So what do you think? Why does the narrator say so? Why does the narrator say that when he landed, he was not sorry, he was not sad to walk away from the old Dakota? Please do answer. Let's see what you think about it in the chat box right away, quickly. Okay, so moving ahead, after you have given the answer, I hope all of you have given the answer. So let's move ahead and let's see what happened next. And yes, the suspense is still there. It's not yet over, guys, not yet over. So let's see what happens. Straight away, the speaker, of course, now when he landed, he wanted to thank the pilot of the black aeroplane who had saved his life, right? So immediately he went to the receptionist of the control center and the lady and asked the lady about the black aeroplane and the pilot of the black aeroplane. But the lady started smiling and started, she looked quite surprised. She asked, she replied that there was no other plane on the air. It was only in the radar that she had. She could only catch the plane of the narrator and no other plane. So, what do you think? Who was the black aeroplane? Who was the pilot of the black aeroplane? And where did the black aeroplane go? Where did it vanish? What do you think, guys? So, the story ends here. So, the story ends when the speaker asks himself, who helped me? If there is no black aeroplane, if there is no pilot of the black aeroplane, if no black aeroplane landed, if no black aeroplane was there noticed in the radar, then who was that man who helped me? Who was that man who rescued my life? The story ends here. So basically, it is an open-ended story. Now it is up to you. How would you like to take it? Would you like to take it as a miracle, or would you give some other meaning to the ending? So quickly tell me, what do you think about the ending, and who do you think helped the narrator? Quickly mention in the chat box right away. Question time, guys. What made the woman in the control center look at the narrator strangely? Quickly tell me, guys, quickly. Okay, so quickly mention this in the chat box. And now we will start with the question. Okay, so the very first question, this is a question which is very important. Okay, so please have a look at the question. How is this story a mysterious story or a mystery? First of all, about who was the another pilot. So the story ends in a mysterious circumstance where the identity of the pilot who helped the narrator is not known. Neither there was any existence of the black aeroplane. So then there are few mysterious elements which I'm going to talk about, which is there in the story itself, which raises the curiosity of the readers. First, from where did the suddenly there was an emergence of a black aeroplane in this stormy situation, in such huge storm clouds? From where did another black aeroplane come? Second, there was no light on the wings of the black aeroplane. Mysterious. Third, if there was nothing visible, how could the narrator see the black aeroplane? Again, strange. Fourth, if there was a black aeroplane, then why did it not land? And fifth, the most important part is, why was it not visible in the radar? And why did the woman in the Paris control room say that there was only one aeroplane that was visible in the radar, which was the narrator's? So these are the few mysterious elements which makes the story absolutely a mystery, guys. So you can read through this. Basically, what would be the answer I have already said. So that was the question and that was the answer to that question. So now we will start with another important question. And these are certain questions that which I'm discussing, very important for your boards as well, for your papers as well. So please have a look. Okay. The first question is, everything was going well. It was an easy flight. Okay. What went wrong suddenly? Important question, guys. Okay. So already I have written here important. Again, I'm mentioning this that it is important. So think about the question, guys. Think about the question and think what you have to write in this question. So till the point you think, let me talk about something which is very important, since it is now your exam. So let me give you some tips with which you are going to score more than 90%. The first tip is, you need to maintain a good balance in all the subjects. Tip number 2, you need very good guidance. Tip number 3, in all the subjects, of course. Again, tip number 3, a very good revision in all the subjects. So guys, what we have seen is various issues, various problems that you students face in all the 3 factors that I mentioned, which is going to surely make you score more than 90%. So what are the problems that you face, guys? Doubts, so many doubts you have. Notes, you do not have proper notes. You have so many doubts, you do not have any reliable source to actually take care of your doubts. Tests and assignments, again a major issue, because assignments, even if you have, you do not know how to solve it because concept clarity is lacking. Tests, even if you are having tests, you are scoring less. Why? Because of the other important problems like notes, like doubts. Competitive exams, you do need a proper guidance, but again, what happens is lack of proper guidance for this competitive exams as well. Choice of schedule, choice of language being the other major issues which you face. But we have come up with the solution of all your existing problems. Doubts absolutely solved. How? With the help of our master teachers as well as class teachers, guys. So yes, your doubts, master teachers, we have qualified master teachers and wonderful class teachers. So this entire team is there only and only to cater to this problem of yours, that is doubts. So you can now very well understand that this is not going to be at all a problem which had remained like a hurdle since a long time. It's no more going to be a hurdle anymore, right? Notes. Again, we have notes after each and every session, assignment after each and every session. The test that we conduct, we give you a performance report on that test. So after having a look at the performance report, what you're going to do is you can see that what are the areas where you need another round of revision. So of course, when you are taking this course, this subscription, you are going to be enrolled in the long-term batch. Long-term batch, what happens is you are absolutely, which is in sync with your school curriculum, and your study goes absolutely in structure with all the notes, all the assignments, all the revision papers. We have 200 plus mock test papers as well, which makes your revision absolutely complete. So then what happens? Suppose, let's say, you face certain problem in a particular chapter, which you have already completed in the long-term batch. Of course, you can watch the session replay as well. But still, if you want another live class of that particular chapter, we have that also. To fill up that gap, we have micro courses. So what is this micro course, guys? This is chapter wise course. All right? And crash course is there in order to give you a revision of the entire syllabus. Performance report, I already told you, and personalized attention, which is not possible in YouTube, that is definitely possible in our platform. Choice of all this at your own convenient schedule, guys. So time slots will be provided. You can choose your own time slot according to your own convenience. Language, again, we have Hindi as well as English as the medium of instruction. So again, you can get yourselves enrolled in any of your favorite batches, right? So next we have, so what you can do is how to avail this amazing opportunity, guys. Just visit vdnt.in/ytpro and choose your grade, choose your board. These are the options that you will have. Check out the details. Whatever details I have mentioned, all are mentioned here. And then finally click on get subscription. And then you will have 3 types of subscription: 1 month, 3 month, and 6 months. So whatever you are convenient in, guys. If you are, let's say, the most recommended would be definitely 6 months wala subscription. Why? Let me tell you that. Because when you pay 1 month every month for 6 months, 6 months is a standard duration that you need in order to gain that structure, in order to have that structure, right? So if you have 1 month every 6 months, you are paying more than what you pay with what you pay when you are paying only for 6 months, all together for 6 months, right? And the cost of this is 9774 after application of the coupon code for the 6 months, okay? And you will see, if you calculate, that you are not even paying more than 9 rupee per class, guys. Per class, not even more than 9 to 10 rupee. That That is quite reasonable, quite cost effective. When you take extra coaching classes for one or two subjects, guys, you pay a lot more than this. Don't you think so? And still you get, maybe you get in that subject, in that particular subject, maybe you get more than 90, 95. But what about the rest of the subject? Your balance is somewhere hampered and you end up getting less marks in the subjects which you have taken lightly. So that should not happen, guys. We are not going to let that happen. So yes, that is why we have offered you all the six subjects: English, physics, chemistry, maths, biology, and social science. All the six subjects are taken care of by us. And we ensure that we will hold your hand and take you to the top. Whatever you deserve, that you will definitely get. So what you need to do is just visit vdnt.in/ytpro. Use the coupon code SWREPRO. This is the coupon code for English channel. So yes, do use this in order to avail 15% discount, guys, which is not applicable if you do not use the code, right? So definitely this is only and only for you. The platform is designed only and only to suit your needs. So give us the opportunity to take you to the top. Right. So now I hope you have got enough time to think on the question that I have told you, right? I asked you. So the flight of Old Dakota started in Paris and headed towards England. It was an easy flight. The sky was very clear and the weather was absolutely fine. But when it reached 150 kilometers away from Paris, suddenly confronted huge black storm clouds. He had limited fuel only, as I told you, he had fuel only to fly for 5 to 10 minutes, right? And then he could go back to Paris, but he decided to take the risk because he was thinking about his family and enjoying the English breakfast with his family, right? In the storm clouds, it was pitch dark. His compass, his radio, other instruments, everything stopped working, right? He could not contact the Paris control room to know the direction, right? Suddenly, he saw a black aeroplane. Its pilot guided him and brought him safely out of the storm. He saw the runway and landed safely. Next question, guys. Describe the flight of the pilot before he encountered the dark clouds. Right? So let's check the answer for that. The writer of the story is a pilot. One night he was flying his old Dakota over England. It was a starry night. He was going to England. He hoped to spend his time during with his family. It was an easy journey and he was in a joyful mood. He looked at his watch. It was 1:30 in the morning. Through his wireless, he contacted the Paris control room. They told him to turn 12 degrees west. He did as he was advised to do. He was 150 kilometers from Paris. Suddenly, what happened? He saw the black clouds before him. It was not possible to fly through the up and over the black clouds. He had not much fuel as well. So it was not possible to fly around the big mountains of clouds to the right or the left. He decided to take the risk, however, because obviously he was thinking about his family and the English breakfast, and then he flew straight into the clouds. With that, we come to almost the end of the session, guys, but do not forget about the comment on the homework question. So do put your comments for the homework question. The homework question is: the narrator made possible every endeavor to save himself. He did not lose hope in direct situation, in diverse situation. It should be, sorry for that typing error. Okay, this is diverse. Okay, diverse. All right, one second. One second. Adverse, it should be. I'm very sorry. It should be adverse. I'm really very sorry. I confuse between the words. It should be adverse, not diverse. I'm really sorry. Okay, so he did not lose hope in adverse situations. What values helped him endure the critical situation bravely? Very important. Okay? Very important question. And yes, when I'm comparing this story, as the title itself is two stories about flying, right? So when I compare the previous story with this story, you can see what are the points of similarity. First is both deal with adverse situation, difficult situation, right? In the in the life of the young seagull, it was his first flight, learning to fly for the first time, and the kinds of obstructions that he had and obstacles that he had and how he overcame those. And here also, what was the obstacle? It was in the form of storms, right? So what do you think? At the end, when we have already reached the mysterious element, we can guess that maybe, let's make an educated guess, maybe there was no pilot at all. So that is why I asked you one question. Do you believe in mysteries, guys? So if you say yes, then maybe you could think that maybe this was a miracle. But if you try and make an educated guess, you might also think that maybe there was no pilot at all. Maybe at this point of time, because of his tension, because of his anxiety, he had created in his mind, it was just a figment of his imagination, the black aeroplane. Because at that point of time, he needed someone, right, to save him. So he was in desperate search of comfort, a consolation, and a companion at that point of time. So maybe he had hallucinated completely the existence of another black aeroplane and maybe that pilot. And maybe it is he himself, because he was a very good pilot, he was a good flyer. So maybe he himself had flown safely through the black clouds and reached safely in the runway. So that is an educated guess that we can make at the end. But of course, the story is open-ended. So whatever you think is yes, correct. So please feel free to put down your comments in the comment section. And yes, we also had the points of similarities as well. So yes, do let me know what values helped him endure the critical situation bravely. So if we think that yes, he was brave enough, definitely he was, that he had endured the critical situation. So what values do you think helped him? So please do post your comments in the comment section about this question. With that, we have to end this session, guys. But before going, please don't forget to get this subscription. Okay? Get the Vedantu subscription. So in order to avail this wonderful subscription only meant for you guys, you need to choose your grade, choose your board, and check out the details which I have explained at length, right? So please do check out that and then click on get subscription. You have 3 types of subscription. Don't worry. Even if you're not very comfortable with the 6 months, you can also get a 1 month or a 3 month subscription. But the most recommended would be the 6 months. But yes, in order to provide you with the flexibility, we have all the 3 options open for you. Yes, guys. So what you need to do is just visit vdnt.in/ytpro. Use the coupon code SWREPRO. So thank you for watching, and do not forget to hit the like button. Do not forget to comment on the homework question, and of course share the video. Show your support by like, share, comment, by doing all these activities. Okay? So just as you have supported us in the Hindi channel, we need your support in this new channel as well. So kindly do support us. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you so much. See you again in the next session very soon. Do let me know whether you have enjoyed this video. Bye bye.